congratulations. This movie was absolutely crazy in the best way. And, I want to talk about, obviously, there's some magic happening with Miguel in that suit.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, it works better than it could have with, like, CGI.
Yeah, for sure.
So how early on in the kind of pre-production process did you know that we were going to put, like, a real actor inside of a practical suit in film?
The movie was, it was designed, sold for that purpose. In terms of when we came to the studio and went, look, the thing that we said was, this is a practical movie. This is what we want to do. We want to do a practical chimp suit, old school movie. And that was how it was greenlit. So yeah, that was always its purpose, always the design.
Yeah, out of curiosity, is that also animatronics in the face?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like this beautiful suit, and the legs could change if you needed different legs. It would be modular, so you could for different things that he was doing, and then his head, he would have like 3 or 4 different heads for different kind of emotions, and then you'd have puppeteers that could move. He could do the jaw to a certain extent, and then the puppeteers could do the smile and the eyes and the snarl and the nose, all that kind of stuff, and sort of really help that.
I love the line that gets towed between like cute and chaotic with Miguel's performance. It was really cool. But you mentioned the practicality of it. I think from that first scene, the first kill, and like the subsequent gore throughout. It was so cool to look at, and I was like kind of baffled. I didn't know how you were achieving some of these practical effects. So I'm curious, like, talk about the team that brought that to life, and kind of your benchmarks of success in that process.
So the whole, Ben was brought to life, and there was a couple of different people sort of dealing with the makeup effects, but most of the gore stuff, it was all by Millennium, and they just built, you had the chimpanzee obviously with the different heads and the body and the suit and all that stuff, and then you had the practical effects. Some, we would have puppets and dummies for some of the extreme stuff. So it was super old school. We were just doing like proper 1980s filmmaking, and it was you don't get to do that kind of movie often anymore.
It's pretty awesome. I have to say, like, my theater got very rambunctious at the kills.
It makes the movie elicits a reaction, like it or not. It elicits a reaction of, you want to shout at the screen, you want to scream, shout, you want to throw it causes that. I love that.
100%. We'll wrap with this because I am so curious. You take this thing like rabies, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you go into like a fictitious kind of interpretation of what that disease can do. But where was the line of being like, how much camp can we throw into this? Like, what's sensitive about the disease itself? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, how did you balance? Like,
it's tricky. I always just go in, as long as you take as the facts as much as you can. I always have it on 47 meters down where people are like, you couldn't really do that. And I'm like, I know. To a certain, the building blocks are based on facts, and then you push and you take it totally straight, and then just let people come along for the ride. I think people buy into, what they need to buy into.
Totally. There's some good gags, especially like the car alarm, but I do have to wrap. Congratulations to you, man. Thank you so much.